Do you have big goals for 2023? Then it starts by finishing this year strong.
HP, what's up?
Not a mucho.
Not a mucho. Gringo.
No entiendes?
Oh, that's more than I know.
No sabe nada mucho?
Yeah. It's October.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
It is, yeah.
I should have a Halloween shirt on. What was I thinking?
This morning felt good, actually. I was walking, and it just had it had a mild feeling of fall.
Yeah.
Mild feeling of fall.
Well, yeah, the good thing is the weather is incrementally getting cooler and cooler. I feel like by the end of October, it's like,
I'm excited to go to Flagstaff next week.
Amazing weather. Yeah, me too. Totally.
I think the high is like 68, 70.
Uh-huh.
Lows probably 45.
Gonna go hike Mount Humphreys. Yep. The benefits of realizing you're having your fifth baby and knowing everything that's entailed as you look at what you didn't do over the past year or two, and you're like, oh yeah, that one's gonna have to happen now. Or it's gonna be another 2 years. You know?
We never got to the top. It's the highest mountain in Arizona. It's over 12,000 elevation.
Yeah.
Pretty strong.
So cool.
Pretty strong.
I'm excited. And talk about, our topic today is talking about finishing strong to start strong. So we're in the tail end of the year. We got, the last 3 months of the year. And for me, this season has actually become more of my new year. So my new year starts around mid-September. It was something that started actually pretty intensely last year for me when I just was really realizing I didn't have a solid foundation for myself in my health and in our business health or my spirituality, and I needed it. Like I was feeling weak and I just really needed to feel strong and stable there and have that foundation. And through that experience, it carried me into my birthday, and then a lot of things kept going for me after that too. But it wasn't intentional to do that to get ahead of my New Year's goals, but it ended up working like that, right? Like I remember about this point, and it was October last year, realizing I was like, oh, wow, everyone is going to be setting New Year's resolutions, or they're going to be looking at the things they didn't do that they wanted to do over the year, and, doing that same old process come January 1st. And I'm not going to be setting goals. I've already set my goals. I'm already working towards them, So I went into this January being at peak physical conditioning, having hit goals of running a half marathon a month and hitting body composition goals come January. And it just made me think, I'm like, well, what if every single year we really truly treated the last couple of months of the year like it actually mattered in reaching the goals that mattered the most to you in that year, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got distracted by your necklace. I just realized I got you that necklace when we had 3 children. It had 3 stars.
That's true.
I just got it back from the jeweler 3 months ago because I added the 4th star for Soren. And now I don't think the son of a bitch is going to fit a 5th star on it.
I think we can squeeze one on there somewhere. I think we can.
Anyway.
We can do it.
God dang it. Will you stop?
Don't limit yourself, Harold. Don't limit. It's all about your mindset.
Yeah.
You think it, you can achieve it.
Anyway,
I think we really, sometimes honestly, when it comes to setting these New Year's goals, there's some of them that really do have a long incubation period, right? But a lot of people, they set these goals and they think all of them have a 12-month incubation period, and they treat the whole year as if it's just going to happen, right?
Yep.
And what I kind of learned from that process was a lot of the things that I said I want to do or I want to, accomplish was just kind of written down in a book or on a piece of paper at the beginning of the year, and then closed up and not done much with after that.
Mm-hmm.
And well over half of them could have been like a 50% completion or even 100% completion within 2 to 4 months. So like if you take your physical health, for instance, you set some goals there. So many people don't realize how quickly they can begin to change their body composition. They can increase their strength or their endurance. And therefore they don't apply the right kind of pressure and or momentum to reach those goals in a time frame, therefore never actually typically reaching them.
Yeah, well, I think in the fourth quarter, you're moving into desirable distractions because you have the holidays coming. But the thing is they always come. And I think that's where people kind of hit the brakes. So any momentum that you created, little bit or a lot, like seriously, like if you sit back, that's a lot of people's issues with why they don't grow because of that fourth quarter. Is they start pumping the brakes or trying to coast, and you never got the car up the proverbial hill to where you earn the right to coast, right? To where your business actually has the momentum to where it can't be stopped. And that was big for us, was we realized, okay, we need to lean into the fourth quarter because we would always start strong. I mean, look at the whole freaking world start strong on January. Right. I mean, we owned a gym. So we seen it. Everyone starts strong in January. That's just the thing.
And what does it typically go? January, February, March, then begins the decline.
Oh yeah, before March for most. We started a little late, like in the with our gym because it was always after Mardi Gras. People's got to wait for the last
New Year.
Well, yeah, the last holiday. So when we had an early Mardi Gras, I was always like, "Thank you, Jesus," because it's costing me money not to have these people, kicking the can down the road. But yeah, but it doesn't change. So if you want to disrupt patterns, it's disrupting patterns. It's you built up momentum and you squander it by wasting the fourth quarter and saying, "Oh, I'll start again." It's kind of like people go into hibernation mode. It's like I call them baby bears. It's like these baby bears, they give up or they put their goals on the shelf to go into the holidays. And they're like, "Oh, I'll get back to that in January when I wake up from hibernation." And I call my people who push through this fourth quarter, I call them my grizzlies, the people that I mentor and I speak into. I'm like, "Where's my grizzlies at?" And they're the people who are showing up in October, November, December. And I explain to them, like, what you're doing now may or may not, because I've seen it both ways, but it may not yield what you will yield most likely in January, February to start of a new year, especially if you're in the health sector. But it keeps you relevant. It keeps you pushing the car up the hill. It keeps you in the motion. It keeps you moving towards your goal, building towards your goal. And and if you are in team development, it shows your team not just using your mouth to tell people what to do, but you're showing them what to do also. And that's the Grizzlies. And that's the people who I see have phenomenal January, February, Marches in their business, as opposed to people who will do okay by default because it's just a new year, right?
That's so good. That's so good. Well, what's the difference? Can like the baby bears convert over into a grizzly, like at any point? Like what could possibly awaken them to shift?
Oh, that would go into other podcasts about their vision.
You're not going to give that one away, huh?
No, I mean that they have to be. The difference between a grizzly and a baby bear is two things. One, the grizzly decided to disrupt patterns that wasn't serving them to what they wanted, and they realized that. Well, hey, I keep going dormant and hibernating in the winter months. It's a cyclical pattern, and they said I have to disrupt that pattern, or I'm going to keep getting what I get. Right? It's pretty freaking. All this stuff's so simple. It really is. And that requires discipline, though. And you can still enjoy the heck out of the holidays because we do. We are already pre-booked for Christmas to go up to Pine Top and do some skiing and that. But we still are plugging away at our businesses because it becomes your life. It's like when it becomes just integrated with work and play, just become integrated where you really can't define the two. You can't really distinct between the two. Like you can't differentiate, I guess what I'm trying to say. And the other thing that a grizzly bear has that a baby bear doesn't have is they have more vision. They have a clear vision of, they're excited. They're excited about getting into the new year, and they're excited about continuing to press closer and closer to what they want to create. So why would you stop that? Like if you're excited to get, like, it's like maybe we're like running a race and you see the finish line, but you kind of like, oh, I can see it off in the distance. I've been running for 12 miles. I can see that in the distance at the end of that half. I'm just going to start crawling, and I don't know. If I finish, I finish. I'll start back maybe when they do this race next year. You know, it's ridiculous. It's like, but where a grizzly bear, and I maybe get tired of me saying that reference, but no, they're getting excited because they see it drawing closer and closer. And they know the more consistent that they are, that the closer that goal gets. I don't know if that
the better it tastes to go get it, you know? Yeah, I love that. When I run races, even though I'm not a professional, you know, I never have like won a race. I've won my races, you know, the competition I set in my head for myself. But I'm the type of person that when I see the finish line, like I just start sprinting, like, because it's going to feel so good to finish. And in reality, like, does it make a little bit of difference for what my finish time is? Yeah, sure it does. But does it actually make a big difference because I'm not a professional and all those things? No, it doesn't. But to me, it makes the victory taste better. So I think the big thing here is like a lot of people might think, well, the new year is coming. You know, why put myself under the pressure of trying to, you know, grow my business to X, Y, and Z in such a short amount of time when, yeah, you know, isn't it just going to be prime season to do that the new year anyway? Or why would I try to improve upon my physical health when I'm going to eat some cookies, or I'm going to drink a couple more cocktails than I usually do, or whatever? And for me, the big thing is, one, are you fooling yourself? Because if you can't change it now, will you be able to actually change it in the new year? And if that were true, why didn't you do it this year? Right? Like, why didn't you do it this January? If waiting is okay and better, I'm just going to be honest, you know, 82% of New Year's resolutions goals are not hit.
Yeah.
And it's not because people are setting these huge unrealistic goals. It's because they haven't interrupted patterns of failure, thinking, habits, lack of taking action. And honestly, these obstacles are the excuses we allow ourselves to have. Although we're thinking right now about Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, those types of things, you're making those same exceptions for yourself. January, February, April, Easter, vacations. It's a thinking problem that leads to an acting problem and or lack thereof. So to actually, I feel like this is the perfect time of year that actually, if you're going to do the personal development that leads to results that you want to see in your life, that this is the time of year to have those pattern disruptions, to challenge your mindset. Because if you don't, you probably won't. You know, if it doesn't start happening now, you most likely won't ever do it. And you're just going to fall into the 82% that set the New Year's resolutions and don't achieve it.
As we're wrapping this up, just to give you like a clear, like a target for those of you who find it hard to disrupt the patterns, you know, maybe it is, you know, hopefully it's in your business. Maybe you make a few adjustments, like Sam said, about disrupting patterns. But maybe in your health, like we used to coach clients when we owned a gym, and or even now in our health coaching practice, it's to what would you like last holiday, just be better this holiday, like more conscious. Like last holiday, like we used to have clients come to us like, oh man, well, how'd you do at the Christmas party, or how you did during the holidays? And they're like, oh, I sucked. I had a piece of this and I had 3 drinks and whatever. And we'd be like, congratulations. And they're like, what? I said, well, how would it have been last year? Oh, I'd have got hammered every single party. I'd have had 3 of these and 4 of those. I said, congratulations. You disrupted a pattern. And then you start building upon that year after year after year. It's not overnight. You know, people think that. So if you take one thing away from this podcast, I mean, that's an easy takeaway, I think, is to make that correction this year, just in your health and then in your business too. Say, hey, I usually hit the brakes and shelf it. Well, if that's the case, then you might want to look at your goals, because if they're worth anything, I don't see how you're shelving them. Like
Right.
it must be some shitty goals. They try and censor me. I feel like that freaking song Hush on Tool. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. And actually, we could just leave everybody with some strategy goals, some things to take this mindset of finishing strong to start strong. One, how great you're going to feel. Like how great you're going to feel when you have momentum. We know how you love Big Mo,
Like
right?
Big Mo. Big Mo's hard to invite into the house.
It's like your best friend. Once you get him there, you want to keep him there.
Yeah,
Like,
make him a sandwich.
yep, guest room
Give
with
him
all
his
the
favorite
things.
pillow.
But
Don't want him to leave.
you're going into the new year with momentum, which is powerful because everyone is a little more inspired at the beginning of New Year. The feeling, whatever the feeling is, I don't know, don't fight it. It's great. But if you go into the new year with that New Year-esque feeling, dreaming, all the things, plus you actually have momentum, watch out. Watch out. You're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So strategy things, you can download our Power to Pivot calendar. This will help you greatly because, as we talked about in another episode, the devil's in the details. So, the things
Wait, how much does that cost them?
Nothing. Free.
Oh, it's free. Yeah.
It's free. Go to the website. You can download it. We have one that is general health, fitness, business, relationships, all in one. For more advanced people, we have another one that is focusing specifically on health, if that's what you need to focus on, and another one specifically on entrepreneurship and finances. So the whole thing in this, okay, at the beginning, the first entry-level pivot calendar has 5 categories to assess, and that's physical health, nutrition, relationships, income, and spirituality. And so for me, those things make up whole being, And we start with small details of, like, you can think about your big goal, but then we break it down into small daily goal or daily activity task, right?
Yep.
And for every single day throughout your calendar, you're checking a box on those tasks that have the compound effect to lead to big things. So write those categories down and then write down what it is. What is your goal? What did you envision accomplishing January of this year? How close are you? How far off? And what were the actions? Like, what are the actions that need to happen now, tomorrow, the next day, leading into the new year for you to see a difference in results? It may not be what you thought or what you wanted, because maybe it does have a 12-month or more incubation phase, but maybe you do. Maybe you didn't need that much time. So think about that, and then think about the actions that need to happen. You can put this on the calendar to track it. And that's the biggest thing, is not complicating it, getting real with what you want and what needs to happen to create momentum.
I like it.
All right. Well, friends, that's it for today. And remember, we believe that you deserve to live the life you desire. So go out and create your new American dream.